It's about 90 minutes before the open on Friday, November 12th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at my last pick. That's how we start all the videos off. I don't want to show you P&Ls that could be photoshopped. I want to show you real trades that are setting up right now. That's why every video starts with my previous pick. Wednesday morning before the open, I told you that I like RBLX. You can see this huge candle and this big breakout through horizontal resistance on heavy volume after earnings. Love it. This tells me that the stock wants to go higher. Now, I did mention it's a volatile stock, it's a choppy stock. You want to wait for pullbacks. You want to have that support established. And look where it's establishing support, right here at the high. Look at those tails under body. I believe this support level is going to hold. And that's why I suggested selling an out of the money bullish put spread, keying off this $90 support level right in here so that it could go down even further. If the stock finishes above $90, you get to keep your credit. So the stock can move a little bit lower, it can stay flat, it can move higher. You make money in all those scenarios. Got a lot of videos on my YouTube channel pertaining to bullish put spreads, how to construct them, why they work. High probability trade, time decay is working in your favor. I still like RBLX. In fact, if I start to see it form support in here, I think you can get more aggressive with it and you can start considering some call debit spreads as long as that support is in and the stock shows relative strength to the market. So I do like the pick. Those bullish put spreads should work out. I like the fact that it's been able to find support here. So RBLX looks good. We should be looking for bullish trades through year end. The market bid will remain strong. We have seasonal strength working in our favor right now. So let's take a look at what the market is doing. You can see that we've had some red bars off of the all-time high. So time to be cautious. Another reason to sell out of the money bullish put spreads. Give yourself a little bit more room. And you can see how this support level is really the key that may come into play, that 453 level. I don't know that we'll get back there, but if we do, that would be an opportunity to get more aggressive with your bullish put spreads on the notion that we are going to see a year-end rally. Are we going to be able to get back up to the 470 level, the all-time high by year-end? I don't know. Kind of hard for me to say. Valuations are still pretty stretched right now, so let this little soft patch come in. You can see, and I've had a few questions on the 10p indicator, can it be used on a daily chart? It can, but you need to be able to identify those bullish and bearish divergences. So I prefer to use it on a 5-minute basis, but yes, it can be used for longer time frames. So if we take a quick look, you can see you've got a bearish cross right in here that ended up working fine, but that dip was very, very brief. So now you've got the 10p indicator actually continuing to head lower from this point. That is a bullish divergence because you've got the market running higher with the indicator continuing to go low. Now you get a bullish cross in here. That ends up working out pretty well. Here you've got a bearish cross that comes into play here. Upward sloping trend line violated to the downside. That's your shorting opportunity right in here. So you get a nice short that sets up here. Then you get a nice buy signal right about in here. You can see this little bounce that was telling you there's a bullish cross right in here. Look for a little bit of a bounce. We get the bounce right up in here. And now you get that bearish cross for the final leg of that sell-off. Beautiful bullish cross right in here. That could be a signal that the market's going to be in for a soft patch. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So I believe that the market's going to find the bid. Yes, we've got inflation rising. Yes, that's going to put upward pressure on interest rates. Yes, the Fed is starting to taper. But I don't think those concerns are going to come into play between now and year end. First couple of months in January, yeah, they sure could. As we start getting closer and closer to Fed tightening, I think the market is going to have a stiff headwind. But for right now, let's see if we can find some nice bullish trades. So I'm going to go into custom search and we're going to construct a really easy search. I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart on the S&P because I want to mention something else. Yesterday, Veterans Day, by the way. Thank you to all the veterans who have proudly served our nation, who have protected us, who have protected freedom around the world. I wish the market were closed. The bond market was closed. The stock market should have been closed to honor all of you. But it was open, so we get this choppy day with mixed candles. Before the open, I'd mentioned to all the traders, this is the kind of day when you want to trim your size way back. You want to trim your trade count. Context is very, very important when you're trading. So we get this choppy, go nowhere market on very light volume. So you shouldn't have done a lot of trading. You could have found some nice stocks to trade during the day, but you should have been relatively passive. As you go into the daily chart, you can see it was an inside day, meaning that the high and the low from the prior day were preserved. Inside days, you also should be trimming back your size. When you start to see tiny little dojis like that, you should also be trimming your size intraday because it tells you that the volume and the range is contracting. So as it stands right now, we've got a nice little positive open for the market this morning. S&P futures up about 10 points. Global markets were decent today, so we should have an okay day. I'm not looking for a gangbuster move. There's really not a lot of news out there. So find your nice stocks, look for that strength, and we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to put up custom search. Yesterday was a down day, meaning that the close was lower than the open. So we've got a red candle. Now, intuitively, I want to find a stock that was above the prior day's high because we had a market that was down. So I'd like to find a stock that was bucking the trend and moving higher. I always want to have good option liquidity. So I'm going to mark that. We'll use a level of -2. Anything around 0 is going to have excellent liquidity. A value up to 15 would have fantastic option liquidity. So we're going to use that as a criteria as well. And then I want to see heavy volume from yesterday. We also should look for a stock that has relative strength on a daily basis, D1. So let's see what this search yields for us. We've got a number of stocks that we could take a look at, so we're going to knock through these and see what we like. Now, I am looking for stocks that have a nice, strong upward move and that are through technical resistance. So I can eliminate some of these candidates by marking stock greater than 20-day high. So let's see what that does. Yes, that reduced our list even more. I'm going to put this off to the side. Let's see what we've got. ADMA, downward sloping trend line. We broke through that. That actually looks pretty decent. It's got a pathway to that 200-day moving average, but it is a cheap $1 stock, which I tend not to trade. APP, traded this yesterday, love it. Look at this volume. Look at this beautiful breakout through horizontal resistance after earnings. APP is a stock you want to watch. So I'm going to zoom out so that I can see the longer term chart on it. And you can see through horizontal resistance there, this stock looks very, very good. I like it. We're going to go back to normal view. BW, like that big breakout there. Earnings after the close, that's what it did yesterday. Big, big volume. I like BW. This is another one. These are two good stocks you can already be watching. EVGO. Through that horizontal resistance, earnings before the open. Look at that volume. Yes, this is a very, very strong stock. The stock has gone parabolic here. EV stock super, super hot right now. This is a stock I would be more inclined to day trade than I would be to swing trade just because it's made a parabolic move and because EV is so hot right now. Will that be sustained? Will we start to see some profit taking and some selling in these stocks? I don't know. And that's why I want to keep my overnight risk exposure on a stock like that pretty minimal. There you've got nice flagpole, downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside. Looks pretty good, but too much resistance, too many tails above body on ONDS, so I would not be super excited about that one. So here we have RIDE. They had earnings after the close yesterday. So we can go into the M5 chart and see what the stock did after the earnings announcement. And it looks like it hasn't done a whole lot. So wouldn't be too excited about this just because it's a bottom fisher and it has some resistance to get through. So I would click there and I would click right there and I would drop that GTC alert line so that if the stock gets above it, I will know, and then it may present a nice opportunity to me. ROOT. Not interested in these. And you got to be careful on a lot of these stocks here. Now, this had earnings after the close, so that's nice. You can see how it got to the 100-day moving average and then backed off. But a lot of these stocks, let's say that this is not earnings driven, they're short covering rallies. And those short covering rallies look fantastic for 2 or 3 days, and then the bottom falls out. So you've got to be very, very careful on bottom fishing some of these stocks that catch a short term bid. SFL, earnings before the open. See you later. Breaking through horizontal resistance, big volume. Looks pretty good. Don't know this company. I'd keep an eye on it. You want it to maintain the halfway point of this long green candle. And ideally, you want it to maintain that $8.60 level right in here. If it's able to do that and it shows some relative strength, could be a very nice pick. STX, Seagate, beautiful breakout right here. Look at that volume. Yeah, STX is going to be a really nice stock to trade. Put up that 5-minute chart. Look at that strength. Green candle stack. When you see green candles stacked like this with very little overlap consecutively on big volume, that is a stock that you want to be buying. And I know it's really hard. It's hard to buy a stock that's run that far because your brain is telling you, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. By the way, that's what your brain should be telling you. This is a market that is starting to drift a little bit lower. You do not need to chase. But these stocks are the exception. When you see that big volume, big technical breakout, long green candles stacked one on top of the other, very little overlap, I call this buying stupid. At least get some size on. Take a quarter of your normal position, but get something on. As the stock continues to move higher, you'll have a profit in that quarter of a position, and you'll be able to add another quarter with confidence. Stock continues to move higher. Now you're making money on it. You can continue to add. First dip is always a buy after you see strength like that. Downward sloping trend line, bullish flag formation. See you later. Let's see how the trading system did. Buy arrow right there, sell arrow right there. You can follow the arrows. So STX looks great. Let's run one more exercise here. Let's not look for stock that had heavy volume yesterday. Let's go 2 days back and see how this list has changed and see if there's anything new in here. FSR and Plug are new. So let's take a look at those two. Well, I know Plug is an EV stock. There you can see green arrow there, exit there. That's nice. Little money there. Here you get a short that just fizzles out. So didn't really make or lose a lot of money there. FSR, take a look at the daily chart through that horizontal resistance. Looks nice, fairly choppy. Can tell that from the long candles here. So we're not seeing green candles stacked one on top of the other. That tells you that yes, it's got a nice upward trend, but you don't have to rush in and buy breakouts. You can wait for those pullbacks. If you're patient, you got the volume on this one, which is also nice. This stock could continue to go. PLUG, nice flagpole, bearish flag formation right through there. Stock closes above it, big volume, nice. Looks good. Zoom out, take a look at it longer term, and you can see nice horizontal breakout there above the major moving averages. There's your bullish flag formation, big volume. Yeah, PLUG also looks very, very solid. So if I had to pick something out of the list of stocks that I've just shown you, what would I go with? STX looked really, really good to me, and I'm going to go back to that list so that I can take a quick look. APP looked really good to me. I like that stock also. Yeah, I like APP. That looks like a really good one. I think that could be my pick of the day. STX also looks really, really good. There you can see downward sloping trend line comes into play at the 100-day moving average. Stock bounces off of that. Now it's flirting with the all-time high. So let's make sure it can get through that resistance. If it can get through that resistance today, it's got heavy volume and it's got relative strength. Let's put up the 5-minute chart one more time so I can show you how to spot relative strength. Market down, stock up. Okay, this is an SPY overlay. Stock up, market down, that tells you it's good to go. Market down, stock up, that's relative strength. Put up the 1 OSI indicator, and it is going to show me very easily when that stock has relative strength. Orange line above 0, relative strength. Orange line below 0, relatively weak. By the way, this is Option Stalker. This is a proprietary software program that I offer to the public. You can find out more about it and take a 2-week free trial at www.oneoption.com. I'll have a link below the video. Look for a fairly quiet day today. There's not a lot of news to drive the market. We had a fairly quiet day yesterday. Looking for a little bit of a positive bias in here. Don't chase on the open. Don't chase gaps higher when we're already close to a new all-time high. There is no reason to chase. You want to watch the open. You want to wait for a compression. You want to wait for a little dip. Those moves help you identify relative strength. You'll be watching for it in APP, BW, STX, and some of these other stocks that I've also highlighted. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.